So many of us are in the habit of picking up our phone all the time. And if you are in that habit, you are definitely not alone. But often there's a reason behind why we're picking up our phone. There's something leading us to do it. And in today's video, I'm going to talk about why you are really picking up your phone. So I've already used the word in the video, and it is habit. So that is an obvious reason why we're all picking up our phone. The impact of dopamine leads us to pick up our phone more than we would like. The habit of sitting watching the telly and our phones next to us and we keep picking it up can be just a simple habit. A habit that we absolutely want to get out of, and a habit that we can get out of, because habits can be broken and new habits can be formed. So, which is really, really important to remember, but it can simply come down to the fact it's become a habit. It's become a habit to check the actors in a film you're watching. It's become a habit to check in on Instagram every hour. It's become a habit to pick up your phone and see if you've got a WhatsApp message. So a habit is a big, big factor in picking up our phones. I have made a video about how addictive phones are, and I will pop that above, and you can just see why we have that habit, and the addiction is in place for those reasons. So if it is a case that you have simply a habit of picking up your phone, there are definitely lots of steps you can take to reduce that habit. I've shared them in previous videos, and I also have a course on how to reduce your phone use, which I'll pop the link to below, which could be really helpful in helping you reduce the habit. But often as well, while it is definitely a habit, there are other triggers that lead us to pick up our phone. And I'm not talking about triggers like because we need to take a picture, or because it's ringing, or because we need to pay a bill, or whatever it might be. Of course, those are triggers. But what I'm talking about is picking up our phone without a reason to, picking it up without actually having a set reason to be picking up that phone, a set purpose in mind when picking up that phone. And the first trigger is boredom. If you are feeling bored, if you feel you've got nothing to do, then your phone offers you a world of entertainment, doesn't it? There's so many options on there, things you can do, from scrolling on TikTok to doing some online shopping to watching a YouTube video to reading a book. There is just so much that we could be doing on our phones that maybe our external world isn't providing us the same stimulation. So boredom is definitely a factor. The problem is boredom can lead us to go from one app to the next, to the next, to the next, and just waste time on our phones doing stuff. So if boredom is a factor for you, then what I recommend you do is make a list of things you could be doing instead of looking at your phone, instead of picking up your phone, and take more actions to do those things. Remind yourself that there is more to life than looking at your phone. Remind yourself of the things you could be doing in person rather than looking at your phone. Fill your life with other activities, because that will really help get you off your phone and alleviate the boredom. And I've spoken to people who said, yeah, I did reduce my screen time, but I got really bored. And that's because they didn't take the step to replace it with something else. We're not just going to sit there staring out the window thinking, I'm so bored, I wish I could look at my phone. We need to alleviate that boredom. So we need to look at things like our hobbies, our interests, learning new things, doing something exciting, moving our bodies. There is so much more we could be doing than simply looking at our phones when we are bored. The next trigger for picking up our phones is often avoidance. So we could be avoiding doing something. That's a really big one, isn't it? As using it as a procrastination tool. So, oh, I really need to clean the house, I'll just scroll on my phone instead. Or I really need to do my tax return, I'll just scroll on my phone instead. Or I've got all this work I need to do, so I'll just scroll on my phone instead. It's super easy to take that step and use our phone as a procrastination tool to avoid doing something. And the simple answer to that is do the thing and then reward yourself with a little bit of phone time. Do it the other way around. I'm going to do that thing and then I'm going to have a brew and I'm going to scroll on my phone for a bit, rather than I'm not going to do the thing and I'm going to scroll on my phone and then I'm going to feel like absolute rubbish because I haven't done the thing that I needed to do and I've run out of time and I've just wasted all my time on my phone and now I just feel absolutely pants. We've all been there. So do the thing, then look at your phone. And the other thing we avoid is real life. It could be that we're actually avoiding our lives. It could be that we're not happy in the life that we're in. And so we're going onto our phones to live it through other people's lives, or, look at reality, things that aren't reality to escape the reality. And that can be useful sometimes, like using things like meditation apps and going into a calmer headspace can be amazing. But if you're avoiding your real life by looking at other people's lives on the likes of Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, etc., then of course there is an issue there that really needs to be focused on. And that's why you want to avoid your life and what's going wrong and how can you overcome that and how can you improve your actual life. Because your phone shouldn't be an avoidance tool. It shouldn't be something that you use to avoid what is happening in your real life. So that's worth considering as a trigger. Are you avoiding your real life? And if so, I would recommend looking into strategies to help you improve and enjoy the life you're in, be that seeking medical help, be that therapy, be that mindfulness. I think this is a really important one. Another trigger then for picking up our phone is FOMO, fear of missing out. And as I've said in previous videos, the reality is that we pick up our phone because we're fearing we're missing out on something. But by picking up our phone, we are missing out on something. And that is our real life. That's the people around us. That's things that we could be doing that are more fulfilling. So why do we keep going back to our phone then? Because we get entrenched in people's lives, because we get addicted to looking what people are up to. And when we don't look, we fear we're missing out on something. I challenge you to just not look for a day. And if you are mega addicted, maybe even try an hour or 2 hours. And then when you look, think, do I really need to see what they've had for their lunch? Or do I really need to know that their kid didn't sleep all night or whatever it might be? Ask yourself, is it adding anything to your life? Because reality is it's taking you away from your life rather than adding to it. Another trigger then for picking up our phone is that our phones have told us to pick them up. And what I mean by that is we've had a notification. So our phone has beeped, made a sound. It might not even make a sound. It might just light up and a little notification pops up on the screen. And that is leading us to then pick up our phone, obviously, because our phone is going, hello, look at me. What is exciting on here right now? So I highly recommend turning off the majority of notifications, because then you will naturally pick up your phone less. And then beyond that, there could be all sorts of other triggers as well. Tiredness, I find, is very much a trigger for me. If I've had a few rubbish nights sleep, I find I go on my phone more because it kind of just lulls me a bit and I can't really be bothered thinking about real life. So I go on my phone instead because I'm too tired to contemplate life. If you're hungry, sometimes that can trigger you to look at your phone. You're distracting yourself from that other emotion or feeling that you have. Lots of other feelings and emotions out there that we use our phone to escape from. The important thing is that we highlight what those are and we overcome that rather than using our phone to overcome it, because if we do the work ourselves, we will less likely then go to pick up our phone. I hope that's been useful. Let me know in the comments, what are your triggers for picking up your phone? And I do share lots about smartphone use and your relationship with the digital world. So please do subscribe to my videos and I'll see you again soon. Bye.